because we got to hear some great information from the president of baseball operations, Mr. Dave Dombrowski, your manager, Rob Thompson. They talked for about an hour and a half combined. And what they said, Ricky, was my biggest fear. We've joked about Dave Dombrowski coming on. I used to make the joke. I did the voice. We had a pretty good club. We ran into a pretty good club. Dodgers are a pretty good club. We were close to beating that club. That is exactly what he said, Ricky. It's exactly what he said.
Why am I not surprised? You know what I mean? I'm coming in here thinking, maybe it's going to be a good day, and then all of a sudden you hear, we're running it back, basically, is what we hear. And that, is it bothersome? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, do I think there's still a good baseball team? Yes, I do. But are they going to fool me once, fool me twice, fool me three times? Not yet, no. But I'm sure when they win 96 games next year, they win the NL East, I'm going to be right back there rooting that team on, and I'm probably going to be pissed off again. How's that?
Yeah, listen, so here's what we're going to do. So Dave Dombrowski spoke for 53 minutes. We're going to play the best of or the worst of, depending on how you look at it, coming up shortly. I'm going to play a 5-minute clip of some of the important things that he said so you could get a flavor for it if you missed it. But yes, to hit on some of the highlights, Rob Thompson not only is coming back, they're going to talk about another extension, a 1-year extension this winter. He also threw some cold water on the idea that they're going to go out there and sign some big free agents, even though Jason Stark told us on Wednesday, or Tuesday he joins it this week, hey, I'm expecting some wow moves from Dave Dombrowski. Seems like Dombrowski threw cold water on that right away.
He kind of did. I mean, there's another aspect to this. Like, I kind of look at it, does this have something to do with 2027, with the uncertainty of what's going to happen in 2027? Or is this just something that they really feel strongly about, that they're not going to make any changes? Now, they didn't say that per se. They said basically the core is going to stay the same. I mean, that's what I got out of it. But I think changes need to be made. This isn't about trading Bryce Harper, which is stupid, or trading Trey Turner. That's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is what can you do around the core. I mean, I understand you're going to try to bring back Kyle Schwarber. There's mutual interest there. I get it. But what are you going to do with the JT situation? What are you going to do with the third base, with the outfield? There are still a lot of questions that are left out there.
Here's what bothers me. And it wasn't even as if Dave Dombrowski wasn't telling us the truth of what happened. Yeah, it was a close series. And he got into a few plays here or there. He talked about the Trey Turner throw to home, that if it was on the other side of the plate, maybe they get out of that inning. He talked about the Orion Kirkring error. He talked about the umpire missed strikeout call where he immediately apologized to JT Realmuto for it. He talked about how Matt Strahm just missed his pitch slightly and Teoscar Hernandez hits a three-run home run. So it's not like he didn't tell us the truth, but you also got to read the room, Dave. You got to understand this fan base. We have now been disappointed 3 years in a row, and 3 years in a row it has looked the same where the bats have gone completely cold. So we didn't want to hear this today. We didn't want to hear you come up on the podium and literally for 53 minutes tell us how close you were to beating the Dodgers. And what we certainly didn't want to hear was, well, we actually outscored the Dodgers. We had a pretty good club. We outscored the Dodgers over the course of the series.
Who cares? Who won the series is what matters.
Who cares? Yeah, that you outscored the Dodgers because you put up runs in the game 3.
Yeah, that's what it really comes down to. You put up runs in one game, and you're going to say, well, we outscored them. We played a lot better than they did, didn't they? No, you didn't. You lost the series. The bottom line is, what games have you won? What series was the last series that you've won? Think about that for a second. Last 3 series they have played in the postseason, they have lost all 3. 2 of them have been an embarrassment, and one, the end of it, was an absolute disaster. Yes, I know. You're huffing like I am. I expect to come in, have a nice day today, kind of mingle about what Rob said or what Dombrowski said. All of a sudden, it's just hell freezing over again. That's what it feels like.
It was a very frustrating. I was driving into the station, listening to it. We played it live during Middays with Marks, and I'm listening to it, and I couldn't believe it. I even texted our Unfiltered group chat, like, are you listening to this crap right now? Like, this is exactly what we were fearing it was going to be. How close they were. They ran into good pitching. They believe in these guys. We're not going to have a $400 million payroll, so it's not going to be these big free agent signings. We're interested in bringing back Schwarber and JT. And it's just, I can't believe that this is the message that you're selling to a fan base that just watched every single fear that they had going into this postseason unfold in front of them again. I mean, we talked about it all 162 games. There was that fear in the back of the fan base's mind. As long as they don't go cold in October. As long as they don't go cold in October. And then that's exactly what happens. And what we're told is, well, Dodgers got a pretty good club over there. Great pitching. Yeah, we get it. They got good pitching. But you also are supposed to have one of the best lineups in all of baseball, and they haven't shown up again. And we don't want to hear it today. On October 16th, when we're watching the Dodgers and the Brewers go at it in the NLCS, I don't want to hear how close we were. And not only were we close, we're going to bring back Rob Thompson. We're going to bring back Kevin Long. We're going to bring back the entire coaching staff. But have no fear, Ricky, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to add a new role. They're going to add a new role to this coaching staff. Can you explain what the hell that was all about?
That's a good question. A new role to the coaching staff. That's interestingly enough. You don't have enough? You don't have enough coaches to figure it out? Maybe it's a PFP coach. How about that? I don't know. You know what? The more additions you make, that's different. That's different wording you're hearing from more people. I think less is more in this type of situation. You keep adding coaches, you basically have a coach or an analytics person for every single player on the team. Think about this for a second, Bill.
Well, now they're going to have what's called a field game coordinator.
What does that mean?
That's going to help Rob Thompson on game days, and he'll decide on what fashion he uses them in. That is the big change. So for all the Phillies fans out there who missed Dave Dombrowski's press conference, the big change coming next year is they're adding a coaching role, a field game coordinator. That's it. Everybody else is coming back on the staff. They're probably not going to make drastic changes. Now, look, he did say there'll be some internal changes with regard to the young players coming up, which we'll talk about, the Justin Crawfords, the Andrew Painters. He threw out there Aiden Miller potentially could be a guy that's here next year. He said Otto Kemp could be an everyday player next year on this club.
You love that.
I am just blown away that this was the messaging for 53 minutes from Dave Dombrowski. And then Rob Thompson didn't make us feel any better either. I mean, he comes on, told us he is who he is. They asked him if you have to roll it back with the same core group. What did Rob Thompson say? Well, I believe in this core group. I mean, it was exactly what you would be concerned you would hear from Dombrowski and Thompson. That's exactly what you got. Extremely confident in this core group.
What's up, everybody? It's Bill Colarulo from Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we post a ton of content. It's not just what you hear on air. We're posting content all day long. We do some things before the show, after the show, even stuff during the show. So subscribe, like, do whatever you got to do. We got all this content coming to you every single day.